I'm Detective Harrison, Family Crimes Division. Sarah's car isn't in the driveway. After 37 years of marriage to my son, she's never missed her morning routine coffee at 7, gossip shows until 9, then off to her yoga class that costs more than my monthly medications. But today, nothing. I shuffle to the kitchen in my worn slippers, already feeling that familiar knot in my stomach. The same knot I've carried since she moved in after Dad died. Since she took over my house like it was hers to claim. That's when I see it. A piece of paper, folded neat as you please, sitting right there on my kitchen table like it owns the place. My hands shake as I unfold it. Sarah's handwriting stares back at me, that perfect penmanship she's so proud of, the kind they don't teach anymore. Michael Mom's surgery is Thursday. Start the asset transfer paperwork while she's under. The house deed is in her bedroom drawer, top left. Bank accounts are already set up for transfer, just need her signature when she's confused from the anesthesia. We need to move fast. S. I read it once, twice, 3 times. My own daughter-in-law, planning my funeral while I'm still breathing. Asset transfer? I whisper to my empty kitchen. I'm not even dead yet, but the words keep swimming in front of my eyes, while she's under. Like I'm a piece of furniture to be moved around. I drop the note like it's on fire and stumble backward. The coffee pot gurgles behind me, mocking. Normal morning sounds in an abnormal world. How long has she been planning this? How long have they been planning this? My legs feel weak, so I sink into Dad's old chair, the one Sarah always complained about, said it didn't match her aesthetic. Now I know why she wanted it gone. Everything about me doesn't match her plans. I look around my kitchen, the one where I raised Michael, where I taught him to make pancakes and helped him with homework and kissed his scraped knees better, where I held him when his father died, telling him we'd get through it together. What a joke. I stand up on unsteady legs and start searching. If Sarah left that note lying around, what else is she hiding? The living room looks normal, too normal, like a magazine spread. Not a home where an old woman lives with her son and his wife. Not a home where anyone actually lives. I head upstairs, my arthritis screaming with each step. Sarah and Michael's bedroom door is closed, but it's my house. I can go wherever I damn well please. Inside, everything is pristine. Sarah's vanity table arranged like a store display. Her jewelry box, that expensive thing Michael bought her for their anniversary, sitting there like a treasure chest. I've never snooped before. Raised better than that. But that was before I found out my family was planning to rob me blind. My hands tremble as I lift the jewelry box lid. Pearls and diamonds glitter up at me, more jewelry than I've owned in my entire life. Must be nice, spending someone else's money. But underneath the velvet tray, my fingers find something that doesn't belong. Paper. Folded documents. I pull them out with shaking hands. Airline tickets. 2 of them. San Jose, Costa Rica. Departure. Tomorrow. 7:45 a.m. Sarah Mitchell. David Chen. David Chen? Who the hell is David Chen? I stare at the tickets until the names blur. 2 tickets. 2 names. Sarah's name, and some strangers. Not Michael's name. Not my son's name. I sink onto Sarah's pristine white bedspread, still clutching the tickets. My mind races, trying to make sense of it all. The note, the bank accounts, the asset transfers, and now plane tickets to Costa Rica with a man I've never heard of. She's not just stealing from me. She's leaving Michael behind, too. Oh, honey, I whisper to the empty room. She's playing us both. My poor boy. My sweet, trusting boy who thinks his wife hung the moon. He has no idea his perfect Sarah is planning to disappear with another man and my money. I stuff the tickets back under the jewelry and close the box with trembling fingers. Evidence. I need evidence. Back downstairs, I spread everything out on the kitchen table like a detective. The note, photos of the plane tickets on my phone, bank statements I find. scattered in Sarah's office, what used to be Dad's den. The numbers make me dizzy. Withdrawal after withdrawal. My retirement account, half empty. My savings, bleeding out in increments. Smart girl, I mutter bitterly. Not enough to trigger alerts, just enough to bleed me dry. Each statement tells the same story. Money disappearing while I was focused on my upcoming surgery, trusting my family to handle things. Trusting like an old fool. I'm so absorbed in the numbers that I almost miss it, the sound of tires on gravel. Car doors slamming. I peek through the kitchen curtains and feel my heart stop. Michael's Honda, but Sarah's with him, and they're both carrying suitcases. The front door slams. Their voices echo through my house like they own it. "Mom, we're back," Michael calls out, cheerful as ever. My hands shake as I stuff the evidence into my robe pocket. 43 years old, and my son still sounds like a little boy coming home from school. If only he knew what his wife really was. They walk into the living room dragging those suitcases behind them like guilty secrets. Sarah's got that fake smile plastered on the one she wears when she wants something. "Marge, darling," she coos. "You're up early. Feeling nervous about Thursday?" Thursday. My surgery. The day they plan to steal everything I've worked for. "Sit down," I say. My voice comes out stronger than I feel. "Both of you. We need to talk." Michael drops his suitcase with a thud. "Mom, what's wrong? You look—" "I look what, honey? Old, confused, senile?" Sarah's smile flickers. "Just for a second." I pull the note from my pocket with trembling fingers, hold it up like evidence in court. "Want to explain this?" The color drains from Michael's face. He reaches for it, but I snatch it back. "Asset transfer paperwork," I read aloud. "While she's under. That's me, right? The she you're planning to rob while I'm unconscious?" "Mom, I can explain." "Michael James Mitchell, you sit down and shut up." The voice that raised him. The voice that still makes him obey. I'm not done. I reach into my other pocket and pull out the bank statements, spread them across Dad's old coffee table like a fan of shame. "Withdrawal after withdrawal," I say. My retirement, my savings, money your father and I worked 40 years to save. Michael stares at the papers like they might bite him. Sarah said. "She said you wanted us to handle your finances because of your memory." "My memory?" I laugh, but there's no humor in it. "My memory's just fine, son. Fine enough to remember raising you better than this." Sarah finally speaks up. That sugary voice gone cold as winter. "Marge, you're confused. This is exactly what we worried about. The stress of the surgery." "Don't." I point a finger at her. "Don't you dare gaslight me in my own living room." She tries that smile again. "I think you need to lie down. Maybe call Dr. Peterson." "The only call I'm making is to the police." "Now wait just a minute." "No!" I shout, louder than I've yelled in years. "You wait. You sit in my chair, in my house, planning to steal my life, and you tell me to wait?" I reach into my pocket one more time, pull out my phone with the photos of those plane tickets. Sarah's fake smile dies completely. "Want to explain, David Chen?" I ask. The silence in the room is deafening. Michael looks confused. Sarah looks like she's seen a ghost. "Who's David Chen, honey?" I ask my son, never taking my eyes off Sarah. I don't know any David Chen." "Sarah does." I swipe to the photo, hold my phone up. 2 tickets to Costa Rica. Tomorrow morning. Sarah Mitchell and David Chen." Michael's face goes white, then red, then white again. "Sarah?" His voice cracks like he's 13 again. "Who is David Chen?" She's cornered now. I can see it in her eyes. Like an animal backed into a cage. "It's not what you think." "It's exactly what I think," I say. "You've been bleeding me dry for months, planning to disappear with your boyfriend and leave us both holding an empty bag." "That's not true." "Then explain the tickets." Sarah stands up so fast her chair tips backward. Her mask is slipping. Finally. You want the truth, Marge? Fine. You want to know what I really think? Sarah, don't. Michael reaches for her, but she shakes him off. I've been trapped in this house for 2 years, taking care of a bitter old woman who treats me like hired help, watching you fawn over mommy like you're still 5 years old. Her voice gets louder, nastier. You think I owe you something? You think I should waste my life changing your bedpans and listening to your stories about the good old days? Michael stares at his wife like he's seeing her for the first time. Sarah, stop. No, I'm done pretending. Done playing the dutiful daughter-in-law. You want to know about David? He's everything you're not, Michael. Strong. Independent. He doesn't need his mommy to tie his shoes. I watch my son's heart break in real time. 43 years old, and she's destroying him like he's still that little boy who scraped his knee. So yes, Sarah continues, pacing now like a caged tiger. I took the money. It's called payment for services rendered. 2 years of my life I'll never get back. Sarah. And yes, we were going to leave you both. Tonight, actually. David's waiting at the airport hotel. We figured you'd be so busy feeling sorry for yourselves, you wouldn't notice until we were long gone. She laughs. Actually laughs. The best part? You would have blamed each other. Michael would think his precious mommy drove me away, and you'd think your son chose his wife over you. The room goes dead quiet. Then Sarah notices I'm still holding the phone photos. Her eyes narrow. Give me those tickets, Marge. I don't think so. Those are mine. Give them to me. She lunges for my phone. I'm 73, but I'm not dead yet. I yank it away from her grasping fingers. Michael! She screams. Get them from her! But my son just sits there, staring at the woman he married, like he's seeing a stranger. Sarah comes at me again, nails first. We struggle over my phone. Papers scatter everywhere, bank statements, the note, everything flying across Dad's old rug. Give it to me, you old witch! There at Island, her true voice. No more sugarcoating. I manage to break free and stumble toward the phone on the wall. The old rotary one Dad insisted on keeping. Fine. I pant. You want to play games? Let's call the police. Mom, wait. But I'm not dialing 911. I'm dialing a number I know by heart. A number I haven't called in years, but never forgot. Sarah stops struggling, stares at me like she's seen a ghost. The phone rings once, twice. Rose? I say when my sister picks up. It's Marge. I need your help. Sarah's face goes white as paper. Her mouth opens, but no sound comes out. Because Sarah just remembered what I apparently forgot to mention. My sister Rose isn't just my sister. She's a retired FBI agent. And she's been waiting 20 years for me to finally ask for help. Rose's car pulls into my driveway like a storm front. Black sedan with government plates and the kind of presence that makes neighbors peek through curtains. Sarah's been sitting in stunned silence for 2 hours, clutching Michael's hand like a lifeline. Too bad for her. That lifeline's about to snap. Marge? Rose calls through the screen door. Still sounds like the big sister who used to protect me from bullies. Except now she's got FBI credentials and a badge that makes grown men confess their sins. In here! I call back. Rose walks in wearing sensible shoes and a look that could freeze hell over. At 75, she's still got that cop swagger. Still makes criminals nervous just by breathing in their direction. Sarah takes one look at her and starts hyperventilating. Oh, good, Rose says, eyeing the scattered evidence on my coffee table. You kept the paperwork. Smart girl. She pulls out a phone and starts photographing everything. The note. The bank statements. My phone with the ticket photos. Sarah Mitchell, Rose says without looking up. Also known as Sarah Chen. Also known as Sarah Garrett. Also known as Susan Martinez. Sarah's face goes white as fresh snow. How many names you got, honey? Rose asks with a smile that would scare a shark. I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah whispers. Course you don't. Rose finishes with the photos and looks at Michael. Son, you might want to sit down for this. Michael's already sitting, but he somehow manages to sink deeper into Dad's old recliner. Your wife here is what we in law enforcement call a professional daughter-in-law. She targets older women with assets, marries their sons, then systematically drains their accounts before disappearing. That's not true. Houston, Texas, 2018. Martha Williams, age 71. Married her son Tommy, cleaned out her retirement account, and disappeared with her boyfriend Carlos. Sarah's mouth opens and closes like a fish. Phoenix, Arizona, 2020. Dorothy Chen. Yes, Chen. That's where she got the name. Age 68. Same story. Different son, different boyfriend. Rose walks over to Sarah and looks down at her like she's studying a bug. Cleveland, Ohio, 2022. Evelyn Garrett. Age 74. Ring any bells, Sarah? You can't prove any of that. Actually, I can. Been tracking you for 8 months now, waiting for you to make your move. My head spins. 8 months? Rose, why didn't you tell me? Because you needed to see her true colors yourself. You wouldn't have believed me if I'd just shown up with a file folder. She's right. I would have defended Sarah, made excuses, told Rose she was being paranoid. So what now? Michael asks. His voice sounds like broken glass. Rose smiles. The kind of smile that means business. Now we take a little trip to the beach. Sarah bolts upright. I'm not going anywhere with you people. Oh, but you are. Rose pulls out something from her jacket. Zip ties. See, you've got 2 choices. Come with us voluntarily, or I arrest you right here for elder fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy. You can't arrest me. You're retired. Citizen's arrest, honey. Still legal. And I've got 3 states' worth of warrants with your name on them. Sarah looks at the zip ties like they're venomous snakes. What kind of beach trip? She asks. The kind where you tell the truth for once in your miserable life. Rose turns to me. Marge, remember how you said you wanted to see the ocean one last time before your surgery? I nod, confused. Well, we're going. All of us. Nice family road trip. She pulls out a small device from her other pocket. Looks like a hearing aid, but I know better. You're going to wear this wire, and Sarah's going to explain exactly how she's been stealing from you. Every detail, every transaction, every lie. And if I refuse? Sarah asks. Then I make that phone call to Houston, and Phoenix, and Cleveland. See how fast your boyfriends turn on you when they find out the FBI's involved. Sarah's face crumbles. All that fake confidence, gone. David doesn't know anything about this. David Chen? Real name David Rodriguez? Currently wanted for credit card fraud in Nevada? Rose laughs. Honey, your boyfriend's been running this scam longer than you have. The room goes quiet, except for the sound of Sarah's world falling apart. Fine, she whispers. I'll go. Rose nods and gently takes Sarah's wrists, zip ties them in front of her. Not tight enough to hurt, but tight enough to make a point. Michael, Rose says, you driving separately or riding with us? My son looks at his wife, his criminal wife, sitting zip-tied on my couch, and something dies in his eyes. I'll follow in my car. 30 minutes later, we're driving down Highway 1 toward the coast. Rose behind the wheel of her government sedan. Me in the passenger seat, wearing a wire that itches like crazy. Sarah in the back seat, staring out the window like she's planning her escape. The ocean stretches out ahead of us, gray and choppy under storm clouds. Pretty, isn't it? I say to Sarah. The ocean. You know, I haven't seen it in 15 years. Sarah doesn't answer. Your husband died 15 years ago, didn't he, Marge? Rose asks, playing her part perfectly. Cancer. Lung cancer from those damn cigarettes. Took everything we had to pay for his treatment. I look back at Sarah. That's where the money came from, you know. His life insurance. Every penny you stole was meant to keep me comfortable in my old age. Still nothing from Sarah. You know what the funny part is? I continue. I would have helped you and Michael if you'd just asked. Would have paid for vacations, helped with your mortgage, whatever you needed. Sarah finally speaks. You would have held it over our heads forever. No, honey. That's what you would have done. We drive in silence for another hour. The coastline gets more dramatic, cliffs dropping into churning water, storm clouds gathering like gods getting ready to wash the world clean. Rose's phone buzzes. She glances at it and smiles. Good news, ladies. The beach house is ready. What beach house? Sarah asks. The one where you're going to tell us everything. Every name, every victim, every stolen dollar. Rose meets Sarah's eyes in the rearview mirror. Oh, and Sarah? That file I mentioned? The one with your criminal history? Sarah nods, terrified. It's not just 3 states anymore. We found 5 more victims. And honey, you've graduated from fraud to federal charges. Sarah starts crying. Finally. But Rose isn't done. The best part? Your boyfriend, David? He's been cooperating with us for 2 months. Gave us everything in exchange for immunity. Sarah stops crying. Stares at Rose like she's seen a ghost. That's impossible. Rose pulls into a secluded driveway. Through the windshield, I can see a small beach house overlooking the ocean, and 3 more black sedans parked out front. Welcome to your confession, Sarah, Rose says, turning off the engine. Hope you're ready to tell the truth. Because this isn't just about getting my money back anymore. This is about bringing down an entire criminal network. And my daughter-in-law just became our star witness. The FBI agents are already inside the beach house when we arrive. 3 of them, looking like they stepped out of a movie with their dark suits and serious faces. Sarah takes one look at them and starts hyperventilating again. Rose, what the hell is this? I whisper as we walk through the front door. This, Rose says, guiding Sarah to a chair on the deck overlooking the ocean, is justice. The waves crash below us like thunder. Storm clouds roll in from the horizon, turning the sky the color of old bruises. Perfect weather for confessions. Agent Martinez, that's what his badge says, sets up a recording device on the deck table. The red light blinks like an angry eye. Sarah Mitchell, he says, in a voice that could cut glass. Also known as Sarah Chen, Sarah Garrett, and Susan Martinez. You're under investigation for elder fraud across multiple states. Sarah stares at the ocean like she's planning to throw herself into it. I want a lawyer. You'll get one, Rose says, settling into the chair across from her. But first, let's talk about your business model. She pulls out a thick file folder, drops it on the table with a thud that makes Sarah flinch. Martha Williams, Houston, 71 years old. You married her son Bobby in 2018. Rose opens the file. Crime scene photos stare up at us. Bank statements, medical records. Martha died alone in a nursing home after you cleaned out her accounts. Died thinking her son abandoned her. Sarah's face goes white. I didn't. Dorothy Chen, Phoenix, 68. Married her son James in 2020. Another section of the file. More photos. More evidence. Dorothy had a heart attack when she discovered her life savings were gone. Spent her last months fighting to get her house back from foreclosure. Stop, Sarah whispers. Evelyn Garrett, Cleveland, 74. Ring any bells? Sarah starts crying. Real tears this time. Not the fake ones she used on Michael. Evelyn was my friend, Rose continues, her voice getting colder. 70 years we knew each other. She called me the night she found out what you'd done. Rose leans forward. Her eyes are like steel. Want to know what she said before she took those pills? Rose, I start, but she holds up a hand. She said, I just wanted someone to love me in my old age. That's all, Marge. That's all any of these women wanted. The recording device keeps blinking, capturing every word. Agent Martinez speaks up. We have evidence linking you to 17 similar cases across 8 states. Total theft amount, $2.3 million. Sarah stops crying, looks up at him with those calculating eyes. What do you want from me? Names, partners, bank account numbers, the whole network. Sarah glances toward the driveway where more FBI cars are pulling up. Their lights flash red and blue against the storm clouds. She's trapped. Finally. What if I cooperate? She asks. What kind of deal are we talking about? That depends, Agent Martinez says, on how cooperative you are. Sarah looks at me, then at Michael, who's been standing in the doorway like a statue since we got here. Michael, she says, her voice turning sweet again. Honey, tell them. Tell them I love you. Tell them this was all David's idea. My son stares at his wife like she's a stranger. Do you? He asks quietly. Love me? Sarah blinks, like the question caught her off guard. Of course I do, baby. You know I do. Then why, David? Why the tickets to Costa Rica? Sarah's mouth opens and closes. No smooth lie this time. It's not what you think. Then what is it? Michael's voice gets stronger. Because I've been standing here listening to Agent Martinez, and it sounds like you've done this before. Multiple times. Michael, did you ever love me, Sarah? Or was I just another mark? The silence stretches between them like a canyon. Sarah tries one more time. That fake smile. The one that used to work on him. Baby, you're being emotional. Let's talk about this at home. Answer the question. Michael's voice could cut diamonds now. Did you ever love me? Sarah stares at him for a long moment. Something shifts in her expression. The mask slipping one final time. Love you? She laughs. Actually laughs. Michael, you're 43 years old and you still live with your mother. You work at a hardware store and play video games on weekends. You're exactly what I expected when I picked you. The words hit him like physical blows. Picked me? You were perfect, lonely, desperate, and your mother had money. Sarah stands up, the zip ties making her movements awkward. I didn't choose you because I loved you. I chose you because you were easy. Michael staggers backward like she slapped him. 2 years, he whispers. 2 years of my life. 2 years of easy money and free rent, Sarah corrects. Until your mother started getting suspicious. That's when Michael finally breaks. You evil bitch! He lunges toward her, but Agent Martinez catches him. Easy, son. She's not worth it. Sarah smirks. There's the truth, Michael. I never loved you. I never loved your pathetic mother. And I would have taken every penny and laughed about it from Costa Rica. Agent Martinez signals to the other agents. They move towards Sarah with handcuffs. Sarah Mitchell, you're under arrest for elder fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy. The handcuffs click into place. Real ones this time. Not Rose's zip ties. You have the right to remain silent. As they lead her toward the FBI cars, Sarah looks back at us one more time. That smug smile still on her face. You want to know the best part, Marge? I don't answer, but she keeps talking anyway. Michael knew. The words hit me like ice water. He knew from the beginning. About the money transfers, about the forged signatures, about everything. The agents stop walking. Everyone turns to look at my son. That's a lie, Michael says, but his voice shakes. Sarah laughs. Is it? Tell them about the bank meetings, Michael. Tell them how you signed off on every withdrawal. My world tilts sideways. Michael? I whisper. Is that true? My son, my baby boy, looks at me with tears in his eyes and says nothing at all. Michael's standing at my front door at 7 in the morning, holding 2 cups of coffee and looking like he hasn't slept in weeks. Mom, we need to talk. It's been 3 days since Sarah's bombshell. 3 days since she claimed he knew about the theft all along. 3 days since my world turned upside down again. I take the coffee without inviting him in. Let him stand there on my porch like the stranger he might be. Is it true? I ask. No small talk. No pleasantries. Just the question that's been eating me alive. Michael's face crumbles. Mom, yes or no, Michael? Did you know Sarah was stealing from me? He sets his coffee down on my porch railing with shaking hands. Not at first. The words hit me like a physical blow. I have to grab the doorframe to keep from falling. When? About 6 months ago. I saw bank statements in her purse. Started asking questions. 6 months. 6 months, he knew, and said nothing. She said you'd asked her to handle your finances because of your memory issues. He continues, words tumbling out like a confession. Said you were embarrassed about forgetting things. That you'd made her promise not to tell me. I stare at my son, my baby boy, the child I raised to tell the truth. And you believed her? I wanted to believe her. His voice breaks. I wanted to believe you trusted her that much. That maybe you'd finally accepted her. The honesty in his voice undoes me. Not the betrayal, the honesty. Michael James Mitchell, I say, using his full name like I did when he was little. Sit down. He perches on my porch step like a scolded child. You should have come to me. I know. You should have asked me directly. I know. You should have trusted your mother over your wife. I know. The words explode out of him. I know, okay? I know I screwed up. I know I chose wrong. I know I let her manipulate me into doubting you. He puts his head in his hands. 43 years old, crying like he's 5 again. I was so afraid of losing her, Mom. So afraid of being alone again. After Dad died, after you started getting sick, I thought maybe Sarah was my chance at having a real family. You already had a real family, I say quietly. You had me. But for how long? You're 73. You've got health problems. I kept thinking about what would happen when I die? He nods, still not looking at me. So you decided to let your wife steal my money rather than risk confronting her and being alone. It sounds so stupid when you say it like that. It was stupid, Michael, but it was also human. He looks up at me, surprised. Sarah was right about one thing, I continue. You were easy to manipulate, but not because you're weak, because you're kind, because you want to see the best in people. I sit down beside him on the step, my old bones creaking like rusty hinges. That's not a character flaw, honey. That's what makes you my son. We sit in silence for a while, watching the neighborhood wake up. Normal people living normal lives without federal investigations and criminal wives. What happens now? Michael asks. Now you go to therapy. You figure out why you don't think you deserve better than Sarah, and you help me plan that beach trip I never got to take. The real one this time? The real one? 6 months later. The sunrise over the Pacific is nothing like I imagined. More beautiful. More peaceful. Rose sits beside me in a beach chair that costs more than my monthly grocery bill, sipping coffee from a thermos and looking smug. Told you the beach was overrated, she says. Shut up, Rose. You're ruining my moment. But I'm smiling. For the first time in years, I'm genuinely smiling. The surgery went perfectly. Clean margins, no complications. The doctors say I've got years left in me if I take care of myself. Years to travel, years to live for myself instead of everyone else. Sarah got 5 years in federal prison. Turns out 17 victims across 8 states adds up. David Rodriguez, her real boyfriend, got 3 years for cooperation. Most of my money came back. Not all of it, but enough. Michael's in therapy twice a week, learning to set boundaries. learning to value himself, learning that being alone is better than being with someone who doesn't love you. We talk every day now. Real conversations, not the careful small talk we'd fallen into when Sarah was around. You know what the funny part is? I tell Rose, watching the waves roll in. What's that? I thought I needed to see the ocean one last time before my surgery, like it was the end of something. And now? I pull out my phone, scroll through my contacts until I find Sarah's number. Still there after all these months, like a digital scar. I hit delete. Gone. Now I know it was the beginning. My phone buzzes. Text message from Michael. Therapy went well today. Dr. Peterson thinks I'm ready for that road trip we talked about. You still want to see the Grand Canyon? I type back quickly. Ready for our next adventure? 3 dots appear immediately. Then, with you, Mom? Always. Rose reads over my shoulder and grins. Looks like you raised him right after all. I watch the sun climb higher, painting the sky in colors that don't have names. Seagulls dive for fish, waves erase footprints in the sand like yesterday never happened. At 73 years old, I'm finally learning what it means to live for myself. And it feels like freedom.